Hello guys, and welcome to a new episode. Today we're going to be changing a set of headlight bulbs on an Audi A6 on the C7 chassis with the Xenon HID headlight option. Now the particular type of bulb I'm going to be fitting is the D3S, which were fitted between 2010 up to 2015, as I do believe they changed to a D5S after 2015. Now the actual bulbs I'm going to be fitting today are the new Osram Cool Blue Intense Next Generation, as I've heard a lot of good reviews about these and they're supposed to be really good. Now the tools you're going to need are a small ratchet, a T20 Torx bit and a 7mm socket. That's all you're going to need. Now before you change them, remember to make sure your ignition is turned off and your headlights are turned off to avoid any nasty shocks, as this particular type of bulb do run at quite a high voltage. So it's always best to be on the safe side. Now before we head outside, let's just take a quick look inside the box to see what they look like. Yeah, so basically all they are is actually a very similar looking bulb to a previous video where I fitted some Xenon gas headlight bulbs to a Mercedes. The only difference I think between these and those is the voltage, I think. But yeah, that's all it is. Pretty straightforward really. So let's head outside and show you how to fit them. So once you've opened the bonnet, we're going to make a start on the side with the airbox, as this side there's a little bit more involved with changing the headlight bulb than there is on the side without the airbox. To gain access to the back of the headlight bulb, you're going to need to remove the airbox. To do so, first of all you're going to need to slacken off this Jubilee clip on the air pipe just here with your 7mm socket. Now you can leave that in position once it's slackened off, just leave it sitting there, and then you want to remove this plug on the airflow sensor. If I remember correctly, you do push in the little grey tab on the front there and it just pops straight off like that. And then there's just like a clip on the wire just here which just lifts up. Then gently drop that out of the way so it's safe. And then all you need to do is there's a little clip just here. You lift this clip up, which then allows you to rotate the air filter anti-clockwise to then be able to lift it out like so. Once you've got it out and free like that, you want to try to pull this pipe off like that and then lift the airflow sensor completely out of the airbox, which will then give you the extra space you need to lift the airbox out. All you need to do next is to unclip, where you see this flexy bit of pipe here, unclip this part which connects to the airbox, and all you need to do then is actually lift the whole airbox as one unit completely out of the vehicle. Which sometimes can be quite tricky, as you can see, but there's actually no bolts underneath. It literally just sits in on these rubber bungs underneath. So once that's out, you can then just drop that out of the way. Once you've removed the airbox, you're then going to want to move down under the wheel arch to access the little access point, which is down here. I'll try to move the light. And actually, it's probably easier at this point if you turn your steering to the left, give you access to this little panel just up here. Now you need to remove the little clip, which I should have said earlier on, actually you need a little flathead screwdriver to do this. You need to remove this little clip under here. Fairly easy. You can just pull that clip outwards. It's just a little clip, that's all. Once you remove that clip, pull this little panel out and that'll give you even further access to the second bolt on the headlight cover. Now once you've gained access to the back of the headlight cover, you're going to want to remove these two T20 Torx screws. There's one just here and the other one you access from underneath in the wheel arch. If you come under here and you just pull this cover down slightly, you can just see the second one just here. So you have to remove that one from the engine bay and this one from the wheel arch. Once you've removed both of the screws, you're going to want to pull the bottom of the cover outwards, and then you need to try and wiggle the top part out of its little clips in there. I mean, the wheel arch lining might be in the way, so you may need to flex it just a little bit, just to allow it to drop down just enough If you move the T like that, just enough to allow you to move it outwards this way. That will then give you access to the inside there, where you can just about, if I can get in there, just about see the headlight bulb just there. See that little plug just there? You then want to pull that plug downwards like so, and then you want to try to probably reach in there from the wheel arch. It's going to be the easiest to access this now, and you want to turn it anti-clockwise like so, and then pull it outwards straight out through the wheel arch hatch. Now once you've removed the headlight bulb, you'll notice this plastic trim on here. It could be black or green, it doesn't matter, it's different on different vehicles. All you need to do is actually remove this with this little clip just here, press it in to open that up like so, and then that allows you to take that cover off. And you now need to place this cover on to your new headlight bulb. Now if you look on here, you'll actually see there's a notch that goes into. If you see just there where my thumb is, it goes into that notch, so that side slots on, and then all we do is close it up, clip it back up, and then you can go ahead and install that back into the vehicle. Now again, when you come to reinstalling the bulb, you want it to go back in through the wheel arch hatch, back into there. Be very careful to line up the front of the headlight bulb into the little opening, which is quite difficult to see in there actually. You can just see the edge of it there. Line it up with that hole there, straight in there. Remember, you want to clip that back on the same position it came off, in this position, if you can see that very clearly like that. And then you swivel it clockwise till it clicks like that, and then you just need to put your plug back on to the bottom of the bulb, if you can see that or not. I know the light's not very good here at the moment. Put that plug back on till it clips like that. That's the new headlight bulb installed. Now you can go ahead and start reinstalling the cover on the headlight. Now the cover should go back in the same way as it came off. Remember, this is the top part of the cover, this is the bottom where the little screws went, remember? So back in the same way it came out. Give the wheel arch lining a bit of a flex, just to allow you to slot these two clips here back in the top position. Now make sure they're in before you put the screws back in, or else the cover could fall off. There we go, that's back in. You can tell when they're back in, because when you slot it on, that sits nice and firm before the screws are even in there, like this. And then you can go ahead and reinstall the screws. So once you've fitted the headlight cover back on, you can then reinstall this little hatch, remembering to put your little plastic clip back in. So just pop that in there. You most likely have to wiggle this around a little bit just to find the hole for it. There we go, that's now popped in nice and secure. Now the next step is actually refitting the airbox, which is actually quite a tricky job in itself, because you have these little rubber bungs on the bottom of the airbox in here, which just sit in the holes or the plastic clips below. So you've actually got to try and wiggle this back in, bring that pipe out of the way, remembering you've got to clip this pipe back in there too, which you can see there's like a plastic clip around the edge here. I mean, that sits over that, and inside that gap there, there's these little clips all the way around, so the pipe sits inside them gaps. So once you've got the airbox roughly back in, it's a case of just wiggling it about to try and get it in those little plastic clips, and then you can lift the pipe up and clip it back into the airbox like so. You can then go ahead and refit your airflow sensor. Now the best way to do this, if you fit it back into the pipe first, like so, you then want to rotate it so this little lug just here actually sits in the top part under here on this clip. If you can just see that like that. Don't know if you can see that very well there. Closer. Like that. Then you want to try and locate the clips back into there all the way around, which is not an easy task if I'm honest. Like so. Now that's nice and flush all the way around. Once it's nice and flush, you give it a twist clockwise, and you notice this clip will then click over that and a lock in position, which prevents it from unlocking itself again. You can then go ahead and fit the plug back on the airflow sensor, remembering to put the little clip back on just to keep the cable secure. You can then go ahead and tighten up the Jubilee clip with your 7mm socket. Once you've reinstalled the airbox and everything's secure, you can then move over to do the other side, which is actually a lot easier because you've got no airbox in the way. And as you can see, that is the headlight cover right just there. Remember, you still got to remove your wheel arch cover to give you access to the other bulb, but that's it. It's exactly the same process inside there to remove the bulb and fit the new bulb in as it was on the other side. Okay, so I hope this video has helped you out in some way, and if it has, don't forget to click the like and subscribe and the bell notification so you're notified each time I upload. And as always, if you have any questions or anything you're stuck on, just leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Until next time guys, take care.